Good morning, everyone. Myself is Kiran Mahi, working as a lecturer in physics at Government City College. Now we are discussing about the rotation of motion of rigid bodies. Now, what is a rigid body? A rigid body is defined as a solid body in which particles are arranged such that their distance is small and fixed. The distance between the particle is not distributed by any external forces applied. Such a body prevents it does not bend, stretch or vibrate when in motion. A rigid body may move as a whole and the motion is known as translation motion. Consider a system of particles. Let every constituent particle is free to move with any velocity and can occupy any position in space. The particles are also allowed to change their positions and velocity with time. Such a material system is said to be free. A particle moving on smooth infinite horizontal surface is in free motion. This is an ideal type because some unknown forces, however negligible, acts on it to restrain its motion. In translation motion or linear motion, all the particles of the body move along parallel straight lines and undergo equal displacements in equal intervals. That is, the velocity of every particle is the same at any time. A rigid body can rotate in 2 or 3 dimensions and the motion is known as rotational motion. In this motion, the body rotates about a fixed axis and the particles in the body describe concentric circles about the axis of rotation. A rigid body may also execute both translation and rotational motions. We consider the case of rotating rigid body. The motion is constrained motion because the individual particles have no freedom to change their positions or velocities with respect to each other. Hence, the rotation of a rigid body is considered as a system of particles moving under the constraints. Angular velocity and acceleration. In case of rotatory motion, the rate of angular displacement is called as angular velocity. This is represented by omega and is given by omega equals to d theta by dt. The unit is radians per second. The rate of change of angular velocity is called as angular acceleration. This is represented by alpha and is given by alpha equals to d square theta by dt square. Next is equation of motion of a rigid rotating body. Consider the section of a rigid body free to rotate about fixed on an inertial frame as shown in figure. A force F taken in xy plane of section acts on a particle P of the body. The position of point P with respect to rotational axis is defined by vector R. This force produces an angular acceleration in the body and hence it rotates about the z-axis. The torque acting on the particle P is defined as tau equals to R cross F. The direction of tau being along the z-axis up. Now shall investigate the relationship between torque applied to the rigid body and angular acceleration of the body. This is known as the equation of motion of rigid rotating body. Suppose the body rotates through an infinitesimal angle d theta in an infinitesimal time dt as shown in figure. During time dt, the particle P moves from a position P of t to new position P of t plus dt along a circular arc of radius r. The distance covered by P is ds. From figure, ds equals to r d theta. The work done by the force F during rotation is given by dw equals to f dot ds. F of ds cos phi, that is f of cos phi dot ds, where f is cos phi is the component of f in the direction of ds, that is f of cos phi r d phi. since ds equals to r d theta. Here r is the magnitude of the instantaneous torque exerted by F on the rigid body about the axis of rotation. dw equals to tau dot d theta. dw by dt equals to tau d theta by dt. P equals to tau into d theta by dt, that is tau omega. This expression gives the instantaneous power P. As a result of this work, the rotational kinetic energy of the body half I omega square is increasing. We equate the rate of work done on the body to the rate of increase in kinetic energy. That is d omega by dt equals to P equals to d by dt of half I omega square. That is tau omega equals to d by d theta of half I omega square. That is I omega d omega by dt. That is I omega alpha. Tau equals to I alpha, where alpha is the angular acceleration. This is known as equation of motion. Relation between torque and angular momentum. L equals to I omega. dl by dt equals to d by dt of I omega. That is I into d omega by dt. As d omega by dt is angular acceleration, so I of d omega by dt equals to tau. dl by dt equals to tau. This also gives the equation of motion of the rigid rotating body. Next is angular momentum and inertial tensor. The equation of motion of a rigid body where the particles are rotating about a fixed axis and omega and r are perpendicular to each other. In this case, the relation between angular momentum and angular velocity is very simple. But when the axis of rotation does not coincide with any of the principal axis of inertia, the relationship between L and omega becomes complicated. In this case, the angle between L and omega is different from 0. The body moves with the same angular speed but exchanges the axis of rotation with time. Now the motion can be expressed in terms of the components of the angular velocity in the direction of three axes of a coordinate system which is attached to the rotating body. In general, ith particle may be written as L equals to sigma summation mi modulus ri dot ri omega minus ri dot omega into ri. The special case of rotation around a fixed axis corresponding to ri dot omega has already been discussed. Consider the general case for which ri dot omega is not equals to 0. For this purpose, we consider the xyz coordinate system fixed in the body r equals to ix plus ijy plus kz, omega equals to omega xi plus omega yj plus omega zk. ri dot ri equals to xi square plus yi square plus zi square. L equals to sigma mi into xi square plus yi square plus zi square into omega xi plus omega yij plus omega zk minus xi omega x plus yi omega y plus zi omega z xi I plus yij plus zik. That is we know that L equals to Lxi plus Lyj plus Lzk. Comparing Lx equals to sigma mi into yi square plus zi square into omega x plus minus summation mi xi yi into omega y plus of minus summation mi xi zi omega z. Similarly, we get Ly Lz. The above component L in x direction involves three separate quantities. The quantities depend on the distribution of mass in the body and on instantaneous orientation of the direction of angular velocity of the body relative to xyz axis. These quantities are known as inertial coefficients of the moment of inertia of a rotating body whose angular velocity vector changes with the time. Thus, Ixx equals to summation mi yi square plus zi square. These are called as, similarly we get I of xy, I of xz. These are called inertial coefficients. In terms of inertial coefficients, the above equation can be written as Lx equals to Ixx omega x plus Ixy omega y plus Ixz omega z. Similarly, Ly and Lz. In matrix form, we can written as Lx, Ly, Lz equals to Ixx, Ixy, Ixz, Iyz, x, Iyy, Iyz, Izx, Izy, Izz into omega x, omega y, omega z. The diagonal elements Ixx, Iyy and Izz are called as principal moments of inertia around xyz axis. The other six terms are called as off-diagonal terms or products of inertia. The above equation expressed in a more compact form by using symbols 1, 2, 3 for x, y, z. Thus, L mu equals to summation v to 1 to 3 I mu v omega mu, where mu equals to 1, 2, 3. The more elegant vector form for the above equation is L equals to I omega, where omega is the vector with three components omega x, omega y and omega z, and I stands for an operator called as tensor. It has rank 2 with 9 components. Now, thus I is a new type of quantity and is called as a tensor of second rank. A tensor of 0 rank has only one component and therefore it is a scalar. A tensor of first rank has 3 components and equivalent to a vector. A tensor of second rank has 9 components. I is named as inertia tensor. The physical meaning of the above equation is that when inertia tensor operates on angular velocity vector omega, it produces a new vector which is angular momentum vector. Properties of inertia tensor. Following are the properties. Inertial tensor is symmetric. That is, the elements of inertia tensor for all mu and nu obey the relation I mu equals to I mu. We can define x, y, z axis in the body in such a way that the products of inertia are 0 for all nu. Such axes are called principal axis of inertia. Now the description of this case requires only 3 components Ixx, Iyy, Izz. For a sphere, all the 3 axes are symmetric. Therefore, Ixx equals to Iyy equals to Izz. Such a body satisfying the above equation is called spherical top. If Ix is not equal to Iy is not equal to Iz, the body is called as a asymmetric top. A body for which Ix equals to Iy equals to Iz equals to 0 is called as a rotor. For a body with cylindrical symmetry, the axis of the cylinder may be taken as principal. The z-axis and xy axis are symmetrical. Consider the solid body rotates about one of its principal axis, then omega z equals to omega, on omega x equals to omega y equals to 0. Thus, Lz and omega have the same direction. Next is Euler's equation. We have studied the motion of rotating body in a chosen inertial frame of reference in a fixed space. The torque and angular momentum L are related by the expression tau equals to dl by dt. The motion of the rotating body may also be considered when the axes are attached to rotating body. As these axes are rotating with rotating body, this constitute an non-inertial frame with respect to the axis fixed in the space. We can transform the equations of motion of rotating body from body coordinates to space coordinates. This can be achieved with the help of this below equation. D by dt of space equals to d by dt of body plus omega into something. That is nothing but dl by dt of space equals to dl by dt of body plus omega cross L, where omega is the angular velocity of rotating frame. From both the equations, we get tau equals to dl by dt plus omega cross L, where L refers to the rotating frame. If the body is symmetric, its axis of rotation coincides with the principal axis of symmetry. Therefore, tau 1 equals to dl by dt plus omega 2 L3 minus omega 3 L2. Because omega cross L equals to mod ijk omega 1 omega 2 omega 3 L1 L2 L3. By solving we get tau 1 equals to I1 d omega 1 by dt plus omega 2 I3 omega 3 minus omega 3 I2 omega 2. Similarly, scalar component equations along 2 axes and 3 axes can be written as tau 2 equals to I2 d omega 2 by dt plus I1 minus I3 omega 1 omega 3. And tau 3 equals to I3 into d omega 3 by dt plus I2 minus I1 into omega 1 omega 2. The above equations are known as Euler's equations of rotational motion for a rigid body at a fixed point. Torque free motion when tau equals to tau 1 equals to tau 2 equals to tau 3. Applications. Conservation of energy. Let the torque tau equals to 0. Then Euler's equations are I1 d omega 1 by dt plus I3 minus I2 omega 2 omega 3 is equals to 0. Similarly, I2 I3. Multiplying the three equations, we get dk by dt equals to 0, where k is constant. Next is conservation of angular momentum. Multiplying the above three equations, we get half d by dt of L square equals to 0. That is L dl by dt equals to 0. Assuming that a motion is indeed present, dl by dt equals to 0. Next is angular momenta and rotational kinetic energy. Let the linear velocity of the ith particle of mass mi be vi. If rotational velocity be omega, then vi equals to omega cross ri. So the rotational kinetic energy of the body is given by T equals to half summation I mi vector vi square, that is half summation mi omega dot ri cross omega cross ri. A cross B dot C cross D equals to A dot B cross C cross D. Therefore, that will be equals to half omega dot L equals to half summation omega mu L mu. That is half L omega. If we substitute mu nu, we get I omega nu omega mu. There where mu and nu can have values x, y, z. Consider that the symmetric rigid body is rotating around x-axis. Then omega equals to I omega x, omega y equals to 0 and omega z equals to 0. Therefore, Ixy equals to Iyz equals to 0. That is t equals to half Ixx omega x square. Further, t equals to half omega dot L. When the axes are principal axis, then Ixx equals to Ixa, Iyy equals to Iy, Izz equals to Iz. Therefore, t equals to half Ix omega x square plus Iy omega square plus Iz omega z square. Next is symmetric top. A symmetric body rotating about an axis which is fixed at one point is called top. As figure shows, a top spinning about its axis of symmetry with the angular velocity omega. The point O of this axis is fixed and is taken as the origin of an inertial reference frame. For experience, we know that the axis of spinning top moves around the vertical axis OZ, sweeping out a cone. In other words, the axis of rotation of the top itself rotates. The rotation of the axis of rotation of the spinning top is called precession. The axis about which the direction of rotation of the body precesses is called the axis of precession. Shall we derive an expression for the precessional motion of the top? Let any instant the axis of the top makes an angle theta with the vertical axis OZ and its angular momentum is L. We proceed in the following steps. Torque and acceleration. Let C be the center of mass of the top with position vector r with respect to O. The weight of the top mg acts on the top vertically downwards from C due to F's gravitational pull. So the torque exerted by force mg on the top about O can be written as tau equals to F cross r, that is r cross mg. The scalar magnitude is given by tau equals to rmg sin theta and its direction is perpendicular to the plane containing r and mg obtained by right hand rule. This is shown in next figure. Thus the torque tau is perpendicular to L, that is perpendicular to the axis of rotation of the top. The torque produces an angular acceleration alpha and in its direction, that is direction perpendicular to omega. That due to this angular acceleration alpha omega changes in direction about direction but not in magnitude. So the axis of top and omega L and R are precesses about OZ. Angular momentum. We know that angular momentum of body is conserved only when the top and hence its angular momentum will change. The change will take place in direction of torque, that is perpendicular to L. Let in a short time delta t, the torque tau produces a change delta L in angular momentum. Tau equals to delta L by delta t, that is delta L equals to tau dot delta t. After a time delta t, the angular momentum is L plus delta L. a vector sum of L and delta L. Since delta L is perpendicular to L and is assumed to be very small in magnitude compared to L, the new angular momentum L plus delta L has a magnitude L but in different directions. As the torque vector completes a circle in xy plane, the vector L completes a cone in space with its axis is the z-axis of inertial frame. In this way, L always lies along the axis of rotation of the top. The axis of rotation itself rotates about a vertical axis and sweeps out a cone whose vertex is at a fixed point O. The motion of axis of top is called precession of top. Precessional velocity, the angular speed omega p with which the top precesses about the z-axis can be calculated as let delta psi be the angle turned by the head of angular momentum vector L in the time delta t. The rate of precession omega p equals to delta phi by delta t. From figure, delta phi equals to delta L by L sin theta, omega p equals to delta L by L sin theta into delta t, that is tau divided by L sin theta. Substituting the value of magnitude tau, we get omega p equals to mgr sin theta by L sin theta equals to mgr by L. Now the conclusion is the rate of precession is inversely proportional to the angular momentum of a spinning top. Thus smaller is the angular momentum, larger is the precessional velocity and vice versa. This is the reason that the precession gets faster and faster. The precessional velocity is independent of angle theta. So the direction of precessional angular velocity omega p is independent of direction of spin angular velocity omega for a given top. The rate of precession is independent of the mass but depends on its distribution. Omega p equals to mgr by L. Therefore, tau equals to r mg sin theta. Omega p equals to mgr by L. Omega p and L are vectors with a theta as the angle between them, and tau is the vector perpendicular to the plane formed by omega p. And L, this shows that omega p L sin theta is the vector product of omega p and L. Therefore, tau equals to omega p cross L. Thus, an angular momentum of constant magnitude but precessing about a fixed axis with angular velocity omega p. Next is gyroscope. We have studied a symmetrical top, which is a symmetrical body spinning about an axis which is fixed at one point. If the fixed point about which a symmetrical body is spinning about its axis coincides with the center of gravity of the body, then it is known as gyroscope. The gyroscope consists of a large heavy wheel whose moment of inertia is very large. The wheel can rotate freely in any direction but about an axle passing through its center of mass. It is achieved by double pivot provided in two circular rings R1 and R2 placed at the top of the stand F. In this way, the wheel and axle can turn freely about any one of the mutually perpendicular axes. When the wheel is rotating at a high speed, the axis of rotation remains the same relative to the frame even if the orientation of the frame F is changed. However, any torque is applied perpendicular to the axis of rotation, there will be a precession of the axis. A change in the rate of precession causes the spin axis of the wheel to rise or fall. Now the spin axis starts oscillating up and down about its mean position. This type of motion is called nutation. We know that the rate of precession is inversely proportional to the angular momentum of the wheel, and the wheel has a large moment of inertia, so it suffers a very small precession. In this way, a greater stability of the axis of rotation can be achieved by increasing the moment of inertia of the wheel and the speed of rotation. The gyroscope is a device characterized by greater stability of its axis of rotation. The principle of gyroscope is used in the construction of gyro compass. It is constructed such a way that it always sets itself with its axis parallel to the axis of earth. If it is any other direction, there is a torque which causes a precession and brings it parallel to the axis of earth. Thus, it accurately indicates the direction of geographic north in ships, submarines and aeroplanes. Theory of gyroscope. We have studied that a gyroscope is a symmetrical body with its axis of spin supported at a point away from its center of gravity. The precessional rate of its spin axis is maintained by the gravitational torque about that point. Such a case is shown in figure. In figure D is very heavy disk which is revolving with a high angular velocity omega about an axle POQ. The axle is supported on a vertical point AP. The weight of the disc mg is acting vertically downward at a distance r from P. The gravitational torque acting on the disk is given by tau equals to mgr. When the disk is not rotating, the gravitational torque simply tends to lower its center of gravity. But when the body is rotating about its axis of symmetry, the gravitational torque supplies the torque necessary for precessional motion. In such case, omega p equals to tau by I omega, that is gr by k square omega, where I equals to m k square. Now time period t of the precessional motion is given by t equals to 2 pi by omega p. Precessional rate once started can be maintained by gravitational torque. Hence, consider the following points. When the precessional motion is started at a higher rate, the axis POK rises. When the precessional motion is started at a lower rate, the